Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh God. No. What?
What?
Do
What just happened?
I have no idea. Do you remember anything?
I vaguely recall gunshots, but
I don't know.
we're still
Like I
alive.
feel that too, but like no, yeah, we're here. So
Yeah, must have been a dream.
nothing. Yeah, it's a weird dream.
Yeah.
God, it felt so real.
You know any cool games you've been playing?
Yeah. I found this game called 20XX. You want to try it out?
Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah,
I'd be down to try it out for the first time.
Yeah, let's do that. Welcome back to another episode of Extreme, everybody. My name is Zach,
My name is Joey.
and this is a podcast where we dig deep on your favorite video games.
That's right.
And we're going to touch this new game that we haven't played at all called 20XX.
Haven't played it at all twice.
I mean, like, I'm getting flashbacks, but, like,
Yeah.
we couldn't have played it.
I don't think so. I
We're
mean,
just at the beginning still.
it's very familiar. But
Yeah.
It's probably, I don't know.
I think it's just our imagination.
Yeah.
We always have wild and active imaginations,
do.
even
We do
even
have
as we
very-
were kids.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the time when we thought up all those crazy schemas? Not talking about schemes, I'm talking about schemas.
We thought up many a schema.
When we were grouping things together in stats class, we thought of many a schema. Man, I'm pretty sure I used that in the wrong context. Anyway, let's jump into this. So,
Yeah.
so we're jumping into it, level 1 here. It's Eternal
Do it.
Star, the Sky Temple.
Yes.
All right. So
Again,
there's like
this
these.
seems oddly familiar.
I know, right? But like, I feel like there's stuff. There must be things we haven't.
Yeah.
Let's just go about it and see how it goes.
Let's do it.
There are these glowing enemies, honestly, that I'm seeing pretty much as soon as we start here that take a lot more damage to destroy. But after you defeat them, they offer up core chips, which are an integral part of this game.
Yeah.
They allow you to carry them over and upgrade your what augments you'll see each time you play, and allows you to improve yourself, or at least have the opportunity to improve yourself each run.
Right.
Because there are some permanent upgrades that you can just get where, say, in the beginning you get offered a free augment and a free armor upgrade or a free new weapon. But there are just a lot of augment upgrades, unlocks.
Everywhere.
There's tons. I didn't count, but I think there's at least 50 or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels like it at least.
It's like too much to count. That's
the thing.
point.
But it's
That's the
a
point.
good thing though.
Yeah, it's cool.
It makes it for a lot of interesting replayability in that, you're never going to see potentially the same augments twice throughout each run.
Yeah.
So it makes each playthrough a little bit different because based on the augments that you get, you may have to play a little differently. So you might get more augments that focus on upgrading your powers as opposed to your attack. So you'll have to augment your skills to accommodate for that and use more of the powers than your normal attacks to get through each stage.
Right.
So it kind of increases the replayability of each run.
I agree.
And honestly, like, the constant flow of unlocks makes you want to keep going because you want to see what other things you can unlock.
Yeah, you definitely can't just play this game once.
No, you got to keep playing, and I mean,
That's
feels
the
like
point.
we must have done this, right? Anyway, I got lost in my own thought. Some enemies, as you move through here, persist. Their attacks, weirdly enough, will persist even after death. I'm pretty sure this might just be a minor glitch, or at least how the logic on each of these attacks works. Specifically, like missiles. Well, missiles make sense because it's being shot off and it's its own entity afterwards. But more specifically, I'm talking about enemies that shoot lasers in certain directions.
Uh-huh.
If they've already gotten into their charge up phase, but you take them out before they can shoot, they will
Yeah.
still shoot, but there will be no beginning. How can I say this? There'll be no area. There'll be no starting point for the laser. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
The initial part that's actually firing the laser is gone, but it still shows the laser being shot.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting. It's like a little glitch thing. It's nothing huge. It's just a
Yeah.
small little thing that I wanted to point out because I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Kind of like
that-
when a person dies and then they poop themselves.
Exactly. This is the equivalent of robot poop.
All right.
You heard it here first, folks. Laser beams after death are like robot poop. Take that to the bank, and they'll give you 1 hay penny.
Worth it.
Yes, absolutely worth it. You know how much a hay penny's worth nowadays?
Is it a penny?
It might be actually worth 1 whole penny.
Whoa.
I know. Something that is completely out of circulation as of right now, but still worth
In
it.
Canada, at least. Does the USA still have pennies? don't know.
I don't know. Do you guys still have pennies down there in the States? Let us know at itstheextreme@gmail.com. That's itsthexestream@gmail.com. That's itsthexestream@gmail.com.
Don't forget to write it down.
Don't forget to write it down. But yeah, take that to the bank, laser poop. Oh, it's funny because I said the word poop. The basest form of comedy. But when you're getting through this Sky Temple area, honestly, understanding the jump dash is absolutely key.
Yes.
If you're just good at jumping and dashing separately, you're gonna have a bit of a harder time maneuvering through these platforms because as the level goes on, they get more fast. They get faster as they move through on the rails. So you may need to, quickly jump to a certain area. And if you don't quite understand the timing on a jump dash, you're gonna have a bit of a time. But that kind of forces you to improve upon your skills there. And
Right.
It's just like, hey, you gotta get better to
That's
keep going.
right.
And honestly, you are not at a lack of opportunities to practice.
Yeah, then when you replay the game, you'll be that much better.
Exactly. So it's like teaching you how to be better at itself by giving you more opportunities and exposing you to the situations more frequently.
Yeah.
But as we keep going through here, I thought it was just some cool little thing I wanted to call out. They added a little blur effects for the weapons as well as the character models. Because when you're dashing, there's a cool little blur effect that shows up behind you. But if you're like attacking while you're dashing, the blur effect also encompasses the weapon attack.
Cool.
So say you're playing as like Ace with sword, and you're like swinging in the air, you can see a blur effect on the sword as it's being used in midair. I think it's a cool little piece of
Detail.
yeah, it's a cool detail, right?
Yeah.
I would tend to agree with
And
myself.
most details are cool, I would say.
That is a fantastic point. Thank you for that amazing bit of insight. I am very proud that we
You're-
put that out in the world.
Welcome. Detail. It's all in the detail.
It's all in the detail. It's also all in the feel
Yeah.
of
it's not
making
all
you
okay.
feel faster.
So
Like,
it's in the detail and the feel.
yeah, because the beauty of having a dash, or at least a blur on your dash, is the feeling that you're moving faster.
Oh,
you may
yeah.
only be moving a little bit faster in the beginning, though, but having a blur effect kind of exponentially makes you feel like you're going a lot faster than if you didn't have that dash line.
Right.
So it's all about feel, It's like when you go to a grocery store and they have like things on sale for like $9.99 as opposed to like $10.
Right. It's like, I
like-
want that. It's not even $10.
Exactly. You're like, oh man, the perception is you're saving money here. And it's like, great, cool. That's not $10. It's $9.99.
All right.
All right, and the people fucking love that. And they're like, I got a deal. Especially when it's on sale, even though it might be market price already, and they just
Yeah.
remove
they just
part of
put
the
us on.
remove part of the markup, and you're like,
Yeah.
I got a deal, and then people are like, oh, we got them now.
Sales.
Where did I go for a minute there?
Grocery store markups.
Fantastic. I think we probably should, for my own benefit. I think we're done here. We move on to level 2.
We're done here, yeah.
Let's take a little break before we move on to level 2, though. Cue the music! And we're back.
Hey,
Feel the excitement of level 2.
level 2.
We're at Vile Visage in Frostor. Brr,
Nice.
Joey, did you bring your coat?
I did, because I'm normally cold.
That's fantastic and sad all at the same time. We are like the complete opposite. I am always hot. In fact,
Oh, yeah?
I am currently very sweaty because it's very hot in the apartment.
Oh, yes, I am currently very sweaty as well.
But that might
because
also just be
fuck.
because of weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Climate and shit.
Yeah, none of that global warming shit. Because that doesn't exist. Shit, sorry to get real on the podcast, guys.
So real. We're all gonna die.
It's too real, man. We can't respawn.
Real. No.
Unless we're Buddhist. Then you can respawn.
Really? Is that a thing?
You respawn is something else. Circle
Okay.
of life.
Buddha.
And it moves us all. Okay, Vile Visage, Frostor.
Yeah. I like this level a lot.
What? Tell me why you like it.
Because it reminds me of Mega Man.
But that could be every level, Joey.
Yeah, but this one especially, there's like not as much platforming as the other ones.
All
There's
right.
still a lot, but there's like other stuff too.
Okay.
You know.
I tend to agree.
Also the ice, and the penguin. Come on.
I mean, it is a lot of references back to X1 and Chili Penguin.
Oh yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about the beginning here, where we get some interesting enemy designs. Where it shoots a time bomb enemy that sticks to you.
Yeah.
They kind of look like hives. Not the thing that pop up on your skin when you're afraid or you've eaten something you shouldn't have. Like beehives.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why they have these little force fields kind of scattered throughout these areas, because their only job is to negate the time bomb enemy. They don't negate
Yeah.
shit aside from that,
Yeah. There's so many.
which was not a fun realization.
It's like I'm safe. I'm safe.
It's like, woo, safe. Why am I losing so much health for some reason? Oh god, this is not safe. Get me out of here.
Get out of here.
But it's an interesting mechanic because it's the only enemy that requires a very specific method of defending from it. Because you either
Yeah.
need to kill it quickly before the time bomb explodes, or make your way into a force field and then go back and attack.
Yeah.
No other enemies have this kind of design, and no other enemies have this kind of methodology for defense, honestly. They don't have a special line of defense for any other enemies.
Yeah.
So, it's an interesting point, because it's the only enemy here that does that. I think I've beat that
Right.
horse into the ground enough, haven't I?
All right.
Do you think I could do it one more time?
You can do it one more time.
Okay, so there's these force fields. And, no, I'm just kidding. Moving on, though. There's more challenge rooms. The one that I happened to run into this time was a finesse challenge room, where you need to get to the end unharmed.
Nice.
Sounds easier than it actually is sometimes, because A lot of the times,
Wow.
the floor is lava, the ceiling is lava, the middle of the arena is lava, and
The enemies are lava.
everything is lava. It's like playing a game called, Don't Step on
Everything's
Lava.
lava.
Exactly. It's like that song, Everything is Lava.
Everything is hot when you're playing 20 XDX.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. I butchered that.
It's okay. It's not like you're a musician or anything.
No.
But I think it's an interesting challenge mechanic, because it's not based on timing. It's just fully based. You can take as
Right.
much time as you need, but a lot of the
Yeah,
times,
I like that.
a lot of time it forces you forward because the top of the screen has the little icicle security things that once you pass their horizontal or vertical line of sight, they'll shoot an ice beak or an ice crystal at you.
Right.
So it kind of forces you forward without actually having a time limit. So there may
Yeah.
not be an explicit time limit, but there is an implicit one.
Yeah. Just like, do it.
Yeah, you
Just
gotta
don't just stand there.
you gotta go fast. You gotta take it from our little blue hedgehoggy friend and gotta go mildly quicker. That was not a good joke. Moving on.
Mildly quicker. Alright.
Something cool that I noticed. There's a help cat here.
A help cat.
It provides assistance and an augment if you pet it properly. Just kidding, you don't need to pet it. But it will give you a random augment and some health and NRG.
That's awesome. Can you shoot it?
Why would you shoot the cat?
I don't know.
It didn't do anything to you.
Instead of pet it.
Well, I mean, you could, but I think it would be fine. Feels like it's an Invincicat.
Invincicat, yeah.
Yeah, do not try
Valid.
this at home with your own cats. This is not an endorsement. Absolutely
No.
not. Leave your fucking
Do
cat
not
alone,
shoot your
Jimmy.
cats.
I really hope there's one guy out there named Jimmy who just really wasn't quite paying attention, but then we said his name. He's like, what?
I hope everyone that is listening right now is named Jimmy.
Oh my god, if your name is Jimmy, no, you don't have to write in. But we would love to hear from you. To let us know if we actually made you look. Anyway, as we keep moving forward here, spikes are no longer the bane of our existence.
I know, right?
Isn't
So
it great?
confusing. I still try to avoid them as much as possible.
I know, absolutely, because it's embedded in my mind that spikes are the devil.
Yeah.
That's why I don't keep triangles in my house. It's very annoying, because I can't really cut things because I don't have knives, and I don't have my seesaw anymore.
Oh no, not your seesaw.
Oh no! What am I gonna do without it?
Just gonna see.
I'm just gonna sit on my plank of wood, just staring off into the distance, saying, "This is fine.
Yeah.
This is fine."
And I'll sit on my saw.
And you'll just
do
sing
the
a
same.
song from like miles away. It'll be
And then
beautiful and romantic
there-
and sad.
Yeah, and there'll be like a montage of sadness and longing.
It'll be lovely and heartfelt. And what are we even talking about?
Okay, yes.
The spikes only do 1 HP of damage, which in this
Yeah.
kind of an environment is perfect, because if they killed you outright, it would increase the difficulty of this game by like tenfold.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I think there is a, what do they call it? Like, I forgot what they called it. But whenever you get up to the next level of difficulty in Defiant, you can turn on like skulls from like Halo is
Right,
the closest
okay.
thing I can think of to basically make the game
Okay.
harder. And
Uh-huh.
I think one of the skulls is like making spikes
Spikes.
death again. So
Nice.
it's an interesting callback. I think even in the description, it's like you have memories of your ancestors.
Nice.
So it's a funny little callback there. But have we talked about this? That there are minor challenge areas throughout certain areas that grant you an augmentation if you're brave enough to go through it? I think we did.
Yeah,
It sounds familiar.
yeah.
Again, I'm having
Side
flashbacks.
little side challenges.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the boss then in that case. Unless there's anything else you wanted to talk about?
All right. Yeah.
Vile
Wow.
Visage.
He's so vile.
The pillar of nightmares.
So much more vile than chill.
He's almost as vile as vile.
Oh. Boo.
I'll be here all night, folks. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for putting in that amazing sound effect, Paul. I really appreciate that. Whoa. Okay. No need to put in the sound effect of throwing tomatoes. That was completely uncalled for. But let's talk about Vile Visage. So he has bullet eyes that shoot a wall of bullets in 360-degree pattern, or in a specific direction that the eye is currently looking, which is weird because sometimes the eye can come out of its mouth or out of its third eye, I guess, which is weird. No wonder it's called Vile, because that's fucking gross.
Yep. That is vile.
And it will spawn minor enemies that you must destroy to damage the boss again. It puts a shield up, so you can't actually
Right.
hit it until you destroy the minor enemies.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting mechanic, considering it takes up about a quarter of the screen. So you could basically hit it from anywhere if it put up those enemies. But it decides, you know what? This needs to be in phases. So we're going to put up phase walls, basically.
Yeah.
So phase walls, in this context,
walls.
are triggered by minion enemies. That's a common trick in a lot of these, not these kind of games, but in other kinds of games where you can't touch the boss until you take down their minions, and then for some reason now you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phase blocking. But I
Cool.
think that's about it. Is there anything else you want to touch on with Vile Visage, or can we move along?
No.
Alright, let's move along, little doggy. Let's play an appropriate song for moving along like a little doggy. Welcome back.
Hey.
Yeah, there we go. Now I'm feeling it.
Oh yeah.
Alright, Vaculab with Lotus.
Vaculab. Loaded.
I'm having like flashbacks
Having
again.
another flashbacks again. Okay, sorry.
But we are having you remember this
Yeah.
feels really familiar, right?
We definitely did this before.
This
I
sounds
think.
really familiar. So let's not dwell on this for too long, but I do want to talk about a few things.
Alright.
There's the challenge rooms, Glory Zone, specifically.
The glory zone.
You need to
So
slay them
sexual.
all!
Slay all the bad guys.
Slay them, like Slayer.
Slaying.
Like Slink?
Slaying.
Oh, I thought you were like imagining a Legend of Zelda where Link is like a Slinky. The Legend of Slinky.
The slink.
Slink to the past. Oh my god, that would be great. He just moves around by slinking.
Yo, is there a video game where the main character is a slinky?
Oh my-
That would be awesome.
Oh, that would be the most 90s shit ever imagined.
Yes. You could just like slink around.
Oh my
N64.
god.
That'd be a great N64 game.
That would be so much fun. I mean, the 90s was a time when they were really shilling with brands hardcore. Like,
Yeah.
they had the Noid game. You remember the Noid?
The Noid?
Yeah, like from
Sounds familiar.
it was like the old Domino's mascot.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember the Noid? It's like, avoid the Noid!
Okay. Yes.
And,
yeah.
and also they had cool...
With the shoes.
Yeah, and then they had Cool Spot. You remember that one?
No.
From 7-Up?
Cool Spot.
Oh my
from 7-Up?
god. Was I the only one indoctrinated by video games and brands?
Was that the guy that looked like?
It looked like a
the
red
Kool-Aid
dot.
guy?
It was a red dot with sunglasses.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the Kool-Aid guy.
Yeah, except it was just a dot.
Right.
Isn't that big difference? But I do wish there
enough.
was a Slinky game. I bet there is, and I bet it's horrible. And I'm gonna look it up right after this. But yeah, so as you go through and finish up this challenge area, at this point you're realizing, we can mix and match these armor parts.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like, again, I'm having deja vu. So I don't want to talk about this too much. But at this point now we have multiple different types of armors that augment our abilities. Which is awesome. And speaking of augments, the augments keep stacking as you get more of them. So you gotta kind of be careful if you're not able to handle the power, almost.
Yeah.
Because you could feasibly get, like, 10 speed boost augments, and if you can't handle that speed, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
So
You got it.
it's kind
You
of
gotta
like...
control yourself.
It's like a double-edged sword. You gotta be like, yes, another augment, but if you have, like, a ton of something, you can't actually handle the augmentations. You're just like, oh, shit, I gotta be so careful now.
Yeah, you gotta like be good to use the augments.
I know, but it's an interesting kind of trade-off, right? Because
Yeah,
some people might
that's cool.
decide...
The augments make you good,
Exactly.
but you have to be good to use them.
It's a beautiful little dance we have to play.
Yeah.
But
what were you gonna say?
I was just going to say it's an interesting balance that is created now. Because the people who are less confident in their abilities may pass up certain augments because they're not ready for that extra boost of speed or that boost in, like, maneuver. Usually it's maneuverability that's the big problem. Extra boost in power is usually not a problem. Like, oh no, I can't handle this power. It's easier to kill things now. What a shame. No, it's usually maneuvering-based things. Like if you get a jump, or you get like a ton of jump upgrades, or speed upgrades, or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting dynamic that's kind of presenting itself through kind of conveyance, in a way.
Yeah.
Because people will understand as they move through, like, oh, if I get another one of these, my speed will increase a little bit this much, and then you're just like, maybe I should pass up on this one.
Yeah.
It's
cool. It's like a pretty unique thing.
It is, because I don't think that's it's a very interesting mechanic that's solely available, really, in something like a roguelike game.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it, because I remember us talking about some flower.
We totally did this.
So should we move on?
Yeah.
It's level 4.
Oh,
But before we do, let's close that door sound effect.
Gross.
Great, cool, thanks for that, and let's play music now.
Lucky. Sweet. Freaking idiot.
But my lips were real bad. You got like 3 feet of hair that time.
Yes. I guess I did.
Let's talk about Frostor and
Okay.
Shatterbeak.
Yes.
So it's cold again. Did you bring your jacket?
I forgot.
I'm having
at the time.
flashbacks
Shit.
again.
We definitely did this like 10 minutes ago.
Are you sure?
No.
Oh no, everything's blending in again.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Frostor though.
Okay.
So, this is again something we didn't talk about in the last Frostor, but fuck ice levels. Seriously, fuck ice levels. I hate ice mechanics in video games.
Yeah, ice mechanics in general. Just,
Because it's just the problem is that it takes away the one thing that I value in video games, and that's control.
yeah.
Like, I love having precision platforming, because I know that if I make a mistake, it's my fault.
Right.
But if something changes mid-game that ruins that sense of control, then I'm just like, well, fuck, I did good. It's not my
Yeah.
fault. It's the game's fault.
It's the game's fault.
And then I get upset at icy floors. And then I stand up and walk outside into the freezing cold Canada weather and fall down and say, that's not my fault. It's Canada's fault.
It's the climate.
It's climate's fault. Maybe I'm just projecting too much. Let's talk about something that's not icy floors, which is
Okay.
portal puzzles.
Those are cool.
So these portal puzzles, it's just little vignettes in these areas where you need to kind of maneuver your way through a certain area to get to a portal, which takes you to another area, which takes you to another area, so on and so forth. It allows for an interesting kind of level design because
Right.
they could take you, you don't know, well, actually you do know where it could take you because both entry and exit open up when you get close to one of them.
Yeah.
So you have
And
an
they're
idea
usually
of where...
they're usually within the same screen also.
Exactly. They're usually within the same screen. There's usually never a time when it's going to take you completely out of the lurch.
Yeah.
There are times when you might be going from the bottom of an area to the top of an area next to you.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
But as you keep moving forward in this stage, there are certain enemy types that are easier or harder to deal with depending on how the chunking has basically worked out. Because as we spoke about before, or at least I think we must have,
We must have.
there are these certain areas that chunk together, but not always the same way, hence the roguelike nature of the game. So sometimes, like, for example, penguins and, like, steep slopes don't really work well together if you are Nina and you don't have, like, a scatter shot. It makes it harder to defeat an enemy because the enemies aren't placed with the intention of the developer in mind. It's more placed with the intention of replayability and chunking.
Uh-huh.
So an interesting kind of dynamic there where the developer didn't really have the control to say that this enemy should be here all the time. It's more just setting up a set of boundaries where things should and should not be.
Right.
Kind of hoping for the best. And for the most part, it does work out, but sometimes it just doesn't work in your favor.
Right.
But that's, again, part of a trade-off with the chunking parameters.
Yeah. I mean, it's expected, I guess.
Exactly. And then there's another challenge in here. Gotta
Yep.
light them up. And by light them up, I don't mean shoot them. You gotta light up these switches before time runs out.
And then...
And usually, you end up every time with that, you get an armor upgrade.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but they're protected by these ice spikes that are literally along every area.
Yeah.
So you're being, like, crisscross patterned to death.
It's not easy.
It's not easy being blue. Or red. Or purple.
No, it's pretty easy being purple.
Really?
But any other color, fuck that.
Okay, fair enough. I can believe it. But is there anything else I wanted to talk about with Frostor? I think we talked about pretty much everything.
Yeah, we could like move on to the boss. Yes. Sting!
How did you do that, Paul? Oh, wait, I remember you edited it. You're a genius. The Icy Avenger.
That's right.
What is Shatterbeak avenging, perchance?
Is it the death of Captain Marvel?
Maybe.
I don't know if that happened.
Maybe Captain America died and
Yeah.
Shatterbeak was a pupil of his.
Could be.
Or maybe he's the long-lost cousin of Chill Penguin.
That would be awesome.
Oh, the lore. The lore is too deep. We're getting too deep into the lore. Fly out of the lore for a minute.
Not deep enough. Okay, fine. Let's fly out.
We'll fly back into the lore in a minute, but the Shatterbeak will fly the perimeter of the stage, or the boss room, and shoot ice... and the walls will shoot ice spikes.
Yep,
depending on- It's not like I don't talk for a living. We We do not make a living off of this.
Yet.
Well, we're only on episode 80. You never 81? 81.
81,
Never mind.
baby.
But as Shatterbeacon rages, you'll turn corner, and every time it turns a corner, it will shoot ice spikes at you to kind of create more chances to get hit by these shattering ice spikes, and sometimes it'll actually just shoot the ice spikes itself. It's just an ice spike cornucopia.
Basically.
It's like
Good
if I'm
word.
at a Frosty stand and I get the Frosty, and it's like,
Yeah, they kind of look delicious.
they kind of do. Have you seen a Frosty without any without any flavoring on top of it? It's just shaved ice.
You mean, yeah, ice?
Yeah, it's just ice.
Yeah. It's ice without the sugar.
Do sugar. Da, da. Do you like my song?
I loved it.
Thank you. Is there anything else you want to talk about with Shatterbeak?
Yeah, I like the boss fight.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
It's very involved because there's a lot of projectiles coming at you from all sides.
Yeah.
Speaking of projectiles coming at you from all sides, hit them with music!
The defect in that one is bleach.
Rollin', 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 roaster!
Roaster, yeah.
Rollster, Aganort, Rollster, Aganort, Rollster, Aganort.
Roaster, yeah.
That's the parody song called We're in Level 5! And holy smokes, these fire shooters are way more abundant. There's so many fire shooters.
The abundance is much.
I mean, we're in level 5, so it's about time difficulty scaling kind of kicked in here.
Yeah.
So that makes complete sense. Now, like, if I could see the math behind the chunking, I bet it's like, multiply by 5. And it's like, okay, here's 5 more fire brands. I don't know what they're called. Fire shooters?
Fireball.
You're a real firebrand fire shooter. That's why I'm giving you a promotion.
Fire.
Oh no, he got fired? Take that one to the pun bank. You are welcome. Ching. Enemies now have upgraded themselves because it's a lot harder now, level 5. And they take a lot more hits and do a lot more damage. Again, goes back to difficulty scaling.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, even the boss has upgraded with the difficulty. The Rollster Beta.
Yeah, he looks familiar.
He's very familiar, but you know what is not familiar? The fact that once you actually take him down, he shoots into 2 smaller Rollsters.
What the hell?
Broke him into
That
2
didn't
smaller people.
That didn't happen last time. I mean, that never What?
I don't know. I don't even know what words are anymore. But it turned into 2 smaller Rollsters. Again, this is just about that difficulty scaling, and it's cool to see how the bosses themselves, as the difficulty increases, actually change. So they're not they're not static. They're dynamic based on where you are in the game, which is a fantastic idea and absolutely was a great idea to have in a roguelike.
Yeah.
Also,
Super
like,
unique.
do you think the Rollster
on.
was just like 2 kids in a trench coat?
Maybe?
I-
Or by a trench coat, you mean spiky?
Like a spiky wheel? It's just shit, they found us. We were just two smaller spiky wheels inside one giant spiky wheel. Our cover's blown!
Shit.
Run! But I think we gotta move on to level 6, because we're just treading over the same ground at this point. Cue the music!
All right.
No, don't cue the music, because I did that. I did that last time.
Okay.
Joey, you cue the music.
Okay. Alright. Here.
Wait a second. I'm getting an idea. No. False alarm. No, yeah, no, yeah, no. Wait, no, yeah, no, no. Yes!
a liger.
All right, we managed to make it to level 6.
Yes, let's do it.
This is the best run that we've done. I never remember us being here. I
know.
definitely don't remember this.
Yeah, alright. Let's do
All
it.
right, so let's fucking do it.
All
Let's
right.
run on in here.
hey,
Jerem. Hey,
What's
good
up?
to see you, buddy.
How's it going?
Jerem? You sound a bit different. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Jerem! Jerem! No! What are you doing? Jerem, no! No! New message from the failure board. A new high score in hilarious deaths.
Sweet.